Daniel and Dave. I'm Jeff Mack, current member owner of Bellingham Bay Builders. And as Rose stated, we're a workers cooperative and general contractors that are focused on high performance remodels and new construction in Whatcom County. So healthy indoor air, energy efficiency, and durability are the three pillars and goals that we're focused on when building a high performance home. Daniel Witzel and Dave Gann are two of my partners, and they're going to dive into the specifics of two remodels in the past that we took to achieve these goals. Dave Brogan, one of my other partners, will be fielding questions in the chat box. And at the end of each presentation, we'll open up the floor for face-to-face questions. So Daniel Witzel's up first, and with an in-depth look at the remodel of his personal residence in the Columbia neighborhood. Daniel?
Thanks, Jeff. And thanks, Rose and Sustainable Connections and everyone participating in this event. My name is Daniel Witzel, member and owner of BBB, a workers co-op. And the slides I'm going to be sharing today are those of my personal home located in the Columbia neighborhood. My wife and I purchased this home in 2014 when we were pregnant with our second kid. We purchased this house knowing that it was going to need a lot of work and planned for a future remodel. And 3 years after the purchase in 2017, we began that remodel. So our goals with for the remodel were focused around the upgrade of the home efficiency, the comfort, and to reduce our carbon footprint. And we're going to achieve this by dramatically improving the home insulation, by using a blown-in bat system for the walls, which is really good at filling in small voids in the frame bay. Add exterior insulation to all walls and roof system, which would create a continuous thermal break for the house, and to also create an airtight envelope. We also wanted to disconnect all gas running to the house, and we chose to use all electric appliances, including two ductless heat pumps, electric hybrid water heater, and a heat recovery ventilator. Our other goal was to increase the square footage, adding a bedroom and a bath. And we also wanted to move our kitchen from the south side, or from the north side of the house to the south side. We also wanted to create open areas for gathering. So let's take a look at the condition of the house when we bought it in 2014 and some of the remodel photos. So the picture on this left, you can kind of see the main house as it was. Our first full season in the house, the home, and we kind of knew this upon buying it, wouldn't perform very well. The winter was pretty cold. There was lots of draft into the house. The whole entire floor system was uninsulated, as well as some of these scabbed on sections in the back of the house. Let's see, you'll notice that there's also these single pane windows, which were definitely not helping and holding in warm air. And also some original doors that we knew that we were going to replace. And then you'll see here, this is the existing cladding was shiplap. So this operated as the main siding and also the shear for the house. So any gap in this siding essentially was in communication with the house. These photos are of when we moved into the home. top left here is me kind of working on the finish coat of paint before moving in 2014. I had refinished some of the fir wood floors. This photo just below me here is my son Eben, around 1 year old, trying to climb up this very steep stairway, which went up to our second floor. Picture here in the middle is my wife Megan standing in our kitchen, and this kitchen, as I mentioned before, was on the north side of our house. It was the darkest room in the house, and our house is kind of positioned really close to the north lot line, and about a foot off of this side is our neighbor's fence, and then a big arborvitae hedge. So you literally had no view. And then just below over here, pretty close to where my wife is standing, during the remodel, we found, remnants, rat nests that were in these lower cabinets. This is a photo of the back of the house, which is where we wanted to do the remodel. So our goal was to tear down all of this, to demolish it, and then build anew and attach to this existing front part of the house. As you can see here on the back side, there's a heat pump condenser, and that's something we bought when we moved in 2014. And there was an existing central natural gas heater located in the living room that we much didn't like. And this heat pump, while it's very nice, definitely on the colder days struggled to keep this house warm. Next photo is kind of the start of the remodel. It's kind of the first hole with me poking my head through. So demolition has started, tearing this house up. This whole room was uninsulated. You can kind of see the shiplap siding. And making way with the remodel. There's nice wood in this house, and a lot of it I salvaged and still hold on to today. Some of these boards were used in reframing, and then also some finished surfaces. Next photo, you can kind of see the second story ceiling was very low. It was probably around 6.5 feet to the ceiling, which was considered a little too low, and we are looking forward to vaulting these spaces. You can see these photos, concrete starting to happen. Here's my two kids playing in the excavator. And then here's some a nice little advertisement from 1907 from a store called The Leader in Bellingham, and it shows kind of women's garments. Here's kind of the form and concrete day for footing and stem wall. This is a pretty fun phase when you start getting footings formed and you know that framing is about to happen. You can kind of see here behind me, this is our old kitchen window where our sink was centered. You can kind of see the view there. And it was a little funky working around this because we're on pretty much a zero lot line. The city didn't want us doing anything with this wall, which was kind of at times difficult to work around. But they're basically saying if we did anything to that wall, we had to move the wall 5 feet in. Here's the floor system getting framed in. And walls starting to get raised. So in building of these walls, I use the flexible caulk adhesive for the seams of the OSB and applied it pretty liberally. That way any type of gap would be filled, reducing the air coming into this house. And this this OSB would operate as the main air barrier to the home. You can see here kind of the walls of the first floor kind of getting close to finished. These next photos are of the upstairs, the vaulted rooms. So there's 3 bedrooms upstairs and a bath, and then a common room. And we were building a hot roof, which essentially is an unvented roof. And so all of these bird blocks are basically really tightly sealed with the air sealing. And then on top of this roof, we used CI panels, which essentially, I'll go back. Is essentially a 2-inch foam panel that's adhered to a 7/16 OSB sheet. And you throw those on top of the roof deck and fasten it with gun nails, and then kind of use expandable foam in the seams to kind of seal up the seams pretty good. And then ice and water shield goes over that, and then composite roofing. The next slide shows the new stairway. New living room beam that kind of separates our living room, dining room, created additional headroom in this space. This photo up here on the left is me kind of taking apart the existing shingles, exposing the roof deck in preparation for these CI panels. And then this photo here with my daughter kind of shows the EPS foam that was used for the exterior insulation. This is 1.5-inch foam, and added 6 R values to the wall system. And this was going to be installed throughout the whole house, new and old. And on top of this foam is where we put our 1x4 battens and then siding. And what this does is create bays so our siding can constantly have air passing through and no moisture issues. This photo down here with the snow, I think actually fell in October. And this is with the roofing on. And at this point, I was pretty excited to have a dry home. This photo here is, I think, our first meal in our new kitchen on the kitchen island. Kind of me celebrating a bit. And then this is the downstairs bath. You can kind of see this blown-in bat system in these wall cavities here. And then I'm going to show you pictures of the home as it is now, done with the remodel. Yeah, you can kind of see here the sun from the south coming through the house. Our kitchen window is right about here. Photo on the left is kind of the entryway into our home, which enters into the living room. And then the dining room here. This year we added a little wood stove for emergency heat. Here's a shot into our dining room, which leads into our kitchen. One of our most used spaces in our house. You can kind of see this light here coming through, which is really nice and bright. We get some solar heat gain in the winter months. You know, we still get the sun coming through this room, which is great. Over here, you can kind of see one of our heat pump heads. this heat pump is blows up to 12,000 BTU. Creates really good heat in the winter months for this space. And about a couple times during the summer, we'll use the heat pump also for AC. When we get those 90-degree plus days. And that's definitely one thing that we also like about the heat pump units is it also works as AC. Here's a picture of our downstairs bath. Here's a picture of our top left photo of our utility room. And up here in the corner is where our HRV is located. HRV stands for Heat Recovery Ventilator. And this basically brings fresh air into your house while kind of maintaining your house temperatures. And Dave Gann is going to talk further about these systems. Photo below is our common room upstairs. You can kind of see the vaulted ceilings that we have and some good light coming in for the skylights. We built these desks over here when COVID lockdown began and the schools shut down. And so we kind of prepared, our kids a space for online learning. Here's a picture of our upstairs bathroom. In the bathrooms and bedrooms, we have these cove heaters, and by code, each of these spaces is supposed to have heat, and these are units that we rarely ever use. Anyhow, and then here's our picture of our walk-in bath. You can kind of see one of our ports for the HRV up here. And here's a photo of the master bedroom and the heat pump. And this is the last slide set. Here's a picture of our condenser units out back. Yeah, this one's downstairs. It goes 12,000 BTU, and the one upstairs is 18,000 BTU. And the photo on the right, this is our electric hybrid heat pump water heater. And we really like this unit. We typically have it's set on high demand, and our family kind of likes to bathe, so we do go through some hot water. But this thing typically will keep up with our needs, and it's a pretty quiet unit. And this is located downstairs in our bathroom in a closet. Okay, that's the end of my slideshow. Are there any questions?
Daniel, can you tell us about the wood floors on both levels?
So the wood floors is the existing downstairs is just TNG fir that came with the house, and I refinished. And the upstairs is a 1x6 tongue and group oak.
This looks great, Daniel. I have to ask the question because most contractors I know have unfinished projects at home. How long did this take, and are you really finished?
Really good question, Rose. No, I still have projects, of course. And I took 6 months off of work. And that basically got us, we moved during the construction, we found an apartment and moved into for about 6 months and then moved back in. But so it's, since that time, which is roughly 2018, I've been pretty busy, and it was just last summer that I kind of painted the exterior of the house, and I still have a little bit of trim work to do.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Daniel, someone's asking what went into thinking about the solar.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our goals in the future. Due to budget, it was something that we wanted to do but couldn't quite commit at the time of the remodel. But it's definitely in our sights for the future. How are we doing on time, Rose?
Well, we are at 1:30 now, so you guys have about 20 minutes left. Feel free, like, I'm not sure what you guys have planned next, but
Yeah, so
we will be like kind of ramping it up right around 10 till.
yeah, so we do have another presenter. I'm going to introduce Dave Gann, and he's going to be producing another case study that Bellingham Bay Builders did a few years back. So here's Dave Gann.
Thank you, Daniel. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing on this nice sunny day? Ice. Woo. I'm ready for sun. I don't know if my skin is, but I'm ready.
That was really good, dude.
Your shirt is inspiring me to get out of the house today, too.
Nice, good to hear. Well, I'm going camping this afternoon, so just gonna finish this up. Okay, cool. Well, I'll start my presentation now. I'm Dave Gann. I'm one of the member owners of Bellingham Bay Builders. My primary role is as a job site supervisor, among a few other hats I wear. Today, I'm going to be sharing an example of a large-scale remodel that included an extensive energy overhaul, among many other improvements. You can see on the slide, the builder was us, Bellingham Bay Builders, and the architect was Greg Robinson, and we completed this job in 2016. This remodel started as a bungalow built in 1927. It was important to our clients to stay, there's the original building there. It was important to our clients to stay within the classic design elements of the original structure. Greg Robinson worked with our clients to design a building that, while adding a second story, still held on to the classic architecture of the home. We were brought into the project after the initial design was already complete. As is common in all building, although much more so in remodels, there was still ample amounts of details to figure out. In the initial phase of working with clients, there's typically a dating period where we talk about what are the most important attributes for the project. For this client, aesthetics was at the top of the list, but also extremely important was comfort. When we hear comfort, we think about buildings that perform to a high standard, thus minimizing temperature fluctuations and supplying the occupants with healthy indoor air. For this client in particular, energy efficiency was not a primary driver, but the idea of a home that was comfortable and had excellent indoor air quality was motivating. We worked together to develop a plan within the design parameters that would give the client a comfortable and healthy home to live in. In a remodel, it starts with deciding what will remain from the existing home and what we will expose in the project that we can improve upon. This project already had a natural gas on-demand hot water system that the client really enjoyed. It also had a natural glass boiler with traditional column radiators as a heat system. You can see those in the photo. They definitely enjoyed the aesthetics of these radiators. We knew we would be staying the course with natural gas, as changing the systems would be costly, and the client preferred the existing mechanical systems. Beyond the basics, though, beyond the mechanicals, this was an extensive remodel. All exterior walls were exposed, a new story added, and the original oak flooring was removed and reinstalled. On a project of this scale, we were able to create a high-performance envelope. We knew we would do a great job air sealing the home. We would add modern insulation. we came up with a plan. Here's some photos. These are more photos of the original house and the demolition. You can see all the old skip sheathing, which in the end we ultimately removed due to how much framing and patchwork we had to do in the project. And you can see there's a few interior walls. Actually, this little closet here that the mouse is over did remain as a finished product, which was exciting to protect for months on end. Let's see here. Our air control layer was the structural floor sheathing, the exterior wall sheathing, and the bottom side of the trusses. The existing floor sheathing was a patchwork of skip sheathing and had no consistent air barrier. We decided to add a layer of OSB to the original floor system for structural integrity and as an opportunity to seal the floor. Before the original oak flooring was reinstalled, we sealed all edges with a liquid applied membrane. This gave us a durable water control layer as well as a solid air barrier on the exterior walls. After the trusses were up and the house had a roof, we installed a layer of OSB to the bottom side of the trusses and taped all seams. At this point, the home had an airtight envelope. This is a necessary step in both an energy efficient home and a home with great indoor air quality. With all the floor, wall, and ceiling cavities exposed, we had an opportunity for a high quality installation. The floor system got new R30 bats, the most allowed in the existing floor joists. In the walls, we installed a blown-in fiberglass product, which does a great job insulating all voids in the wall cavities. The exterior walls also had an 1.5 inch layer of Rockwool exterior insulation. So you can see in these photos, you have the zip system with the liquid applied membrane, and you have a Rockwool product. That's the green kind of blanket looking material in the house. The Rockwool provided a continuous thermal break around the house and added R6 insulation to the wall assembly. It also protected the exterior sheathing layer from condensation driven moisture issues for added durability. In the attic, we installed a loose fill fiberglass insulation to R49. Because we ordered new trusses, we were able to specify energy heels and make sure we had full insulation depth near the exterior walls. We built an airtight and well-insulated envelope. This is a key component to making a home energy efficient. On our projects, we look at many strategies to minimize energy consumption. These include high efficiency HVAC equipment, Energy Star appliances, LED lighting, and on-site energy production. Energy efficient homes are both beneficial to the home occupants by saving on energy costs and to the planet by reducing carbon emissions in the atmosphere. Constructing a durable envelope is important to a home. It protects the owner's investment and can help a home last for many generations. We design and build every project for durability, consisting of moisture management, foundation drainage, insect control, exterior cladding, roof overhangs, and ventilation. In this project, there was a robust exterior cladding system. With an exterior insulation system, a ventilated rain screen is almost a given. On this project, we installed 1x4 utility boards over Rockwool and fastened the Alaskan yellow cedar to it. Allowing the cedar to breathe gave it the ability to dry evenly and extend the life of this exquisite siding material. The outcome was a beautiful cladding system that would naturally weather over time. We are very proud of this project's exterior envelope and all the required details. For this project, we actually built a wall sample section for the client to confirm siding details as well as understand the scope. And I have it here. And I'm excited because I can stop reading my notes and I can have the cameraman turn over to my wall section here. And I will show you some of the details that we came up with. Tilt a little bit. So up in the corner here is the zip system. And then this red goo material here is the liquid applied membrane.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Are you done sharing your screen?
Oh yeah, sorry. Thank you.
That's okay. That way we can see you better.
Yeah, I was supposed to remember that and then I forgot.
That's what I'm here for.
That's you're doing an awesome job. So am I good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm not 1 inch tall. You guys might see a little more. So I have the zip system up here, and then we have our gonna stand up and kind of crouch a little bit if it helps. And then I have a liquid applied membrane, and then you can see the Rockwool insulation. And over here to the right, I have 1x4 bats sitting on top of my Rockwool. This is CoreVent. It's a ventilation product that allows air to move in above the windows for proper ventilation. And then this is Alaskan yellow cedar shingles. And I guess you can't really see, but there's also Alaskan yellow cedar lap siding. Anyways, this we feel like this wall assembly, actually I saw it live in person. This is a super durable wall assembly system. You know, the Rockwool was exposed for the heavy winter months. And there was times when we had to remove some Rockwool to do some mechanical and plumbing installations. And honestly, even without any siding on the house, the Rockwool really protected the zip sheeting, like bone dry in the middle of the winter, even when the Rockwool insulation was wet. So really cool system that we were really stoked on. Let me go back to sharing my screen again so I don't forget. Did it. Nice. Let's see here. After we built a meticulously air-sealed home, we needed to ventilate it. A good balanced ventilation system will provide fresh air to the occupants of the home and manage humidity inside the building envelope. On this project, we had the advantage of having all framing exposed. It was a great opportunity to install a whole house ventilation system. We ended up installing a heat recovery ventilator by Fantech with a maximum airflow of 200 CFM. This is a system that, oh, I'm gonna switch slides too. Sorry. Oh, there's some more siding photos and Rockwool's photos. You can kind of start to see the system there. This is a system that continuously pulls stale air out of the structure, recovers the heat from that air, and then brings fresh filtered air from the outside. The fresh air that comes into the house is preheated from the heat of the exhaust air. Typically, these systems run continuously at a very low volume, thus continuously bringing fresh air into the home. A home with healthy indoor air is a home where the air that enters and exits the house is controlled by the occupants. With a well-designed system, humidity, combustion gas management, and air pollution can be controlled. Good air leads to a better quality of life. Occupants are sick less, sleep better, and breathe easier. With such a large-scale remodel, we were able to build a home that performed better than most newer homes. This product was finished over 5 years ago, and so far, our clients are thrilled with the design, implementation, and final product. They have a beautiful home with minimal temperature fluctuations and continuous fresh air supply. This project is truly one of a kind, and we'll take a few minutes to look at the final product. It really is a gorgeous home, and it was really fun working with the client to get there. So exterior shot, you can see on the left here, everything is Alaskan yellow cedar, and all these timbers are the first to be weathered, and you can start to see the silver gray colors coming out, which is slowly happening over time. This is her kitchen. This is a lot of details, a lot of time spent figuring out details and lighting and living room. We got to work together on designing the mantle for the fireplace. You can see the oak flooring is all, that's all the existing flooring that was in the house that we pulled up and relayed. This is the master bath. You can see on the floor is a beautiful tile mosaic. Shower if you're not a bather.
Did I hear that correctly? You guys tore up all the old hardwood floor and then relaid it?
We did that. Yeah. Well,
It seems laborious. Was it not? I mean, talk more about that.
Yeah. Well, we were doing this. I think we started this in maybe August or September, and we were pretty concerned about the oak flooring surviving the rainy season. Like, the tart battle would have been pretty painful. And then the actual floor framing was in pretty bad shape. So we had quite a bit of patches to do. Kind of laborious, but you know, it's only 1,000 square feet or less than 1,000 square feet because the kitchen was tile, bathrooms were tile. So it was only about 700 square feet to relay. So you put that all into the project cost calculator, and we felt like it was a better decision to pull it and relay it. And this is the master bedroom. Feel free to ask any questions now.
Hey, Dave, can you scroll back to one of the cedar siding pictures again? We've got a request to see that.
Yeah, something like this.
Yeah, there you go. And then maybe do we have another view where it shows it? I guess you showed it with the front deck. But yeah, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, that front. Oh, sorry.
What was the timeline on this project again?
Oh, you know, to be honest, it went a little bit. It went a little bit over a year. Well, actually, I don't even know if it went a full year. It was pretty impressive considering the level of detail. Actually, I was surprised. We were all surprised when we hit our goals for. I mean, it was kind of like a house that was constantly under design and changes, you know. I would say typically a remodel without this amount of detail is probably closer to 8 months, but this house in particular was, the minutia was constant, so.
How often does Bellingham Bay Builders try to repurpose some aspect of their remodels? I noticed in the house that I toured, which I'll shout out later, which is a part of one of the tours that we did for the Green and Home and Landscape tour. How often are you guys repurposing materials and just in, I guess, across most of your builds or remodels or in general? How often are you really trying to use those older materials?
That's a great question. I don't know if everyone's aware, but like right now, lumber material costs are skyrocketing, and so I mean, I guess we've always done it, and we have pretty good habits of doing it, and it's really even more important right now. The project I'm actually working on right now, the house had a bunch of 7-inch cedar lap, and it wasn't even it was in pretty good shape, but we definitely saved it because the cost of the material was, and it won't look brand new, you know, it'll have nail holes and required a decent amount of touch up, but still cheaper and, you know, a better thing to do to reuse that siding material when possible. And yeah, I mean, at this point, we denail every single stud that we take out of a house and reuse it wherever we can. The whole house, you know, wood is expensive right now, and all materials are expensive. So there's not only an environmental reason, but also a fiscal reason at this point.
There was just a question on the difficulty of electrification for this home. Was that an issue for you guys?
I mean, honestly, the client wasn't interested in it, and you know, electrification is great. You know, Daniel did it on his project, but it's our job to build what our clients ask as a custom home builder, and to us, building a really good envelope on the house was the best thing we could do for this project.
Yeah, I think that can go to show where solar can be good for a lot of projects, and it just might not be the perfect thing for others. Before we wrap up,
You got muted, Thomas.
oh, sorry. A link to the next workshop and a link to the survey. But is there anything that Dave, Jeff, or anyone would like to say about Bellingham Bay Builders before we transition to the next one? Anything to wrap it up at all? Just kind of the breadth of work that you guys can do for interested public.
Yeah, Thomas, I can speak to that. Thanks for asking that question. I appreciate it. So again, we're a workers cooperative, and are you guys getting echo from me right now?
Just a bit. We can hear you, but it's not bad.
Okay, sorry about that. So we're a workers cooperative, and we focus on general contracting and building high performance homes here in Whatcom County. And we do probably, I'd say, 50-50 for new construction and remodels. And as much as we can, we try to include high performance building in all of our projects. It's our main focus, and then also we enjoy making connections with customers and taking each project as it comes to us, and enjoy that process of designing and listening to the customer's needs and what their values are, and then trying to create this package for a home that they're going to be enjoying for many years to come. So thanks again for Sustainable Connections for being an amazing partner in green building in this community, and then everybody that came to this presentation. We really appreciate all your support and being interested in high performance building within Whatcom County.
Thanks, Jeff, Dave, Daniel. You guys are all superheroes in my mind. I will just close out by giving like this heartfelt love for Bellingham Bay Builders, and looking out past in the years. We've done things. I one year did a green home, a green playhouse design build competition. Bellingham Bay Builders took that and went like above and beyond by a million times. Hosted green building pub crawls. These guys have done, they built Bellingham's first parklet, which is in front of the in front of the Herald now, and now there are parklets littering. We were like about a decade ahead of time. Anyway, just they have and they also put together and they did a parade. We had a parade float one year together. We've just done amazing projects that looking back over the years, it's been wonderful working with you guys, and thank you so much for all you do for us. We will go ahead and close out this workshop. If any of you have any questions or want to have some one-on-one time with these guys, feel free to stay in the room. Otherwise, go ahead and jump over to our next workshop, which is Community Energy Challenge. It's a program of Sustainable Connections and Opportunity Council, and really fantastic for if you already own a home, or even if you rent. They've got some really great incentives, rebates, and a great offering. So I hope that you can attend that, because Bellingham Bay Builders will tell you before you start a remodel, go get yourself an energy audit with the Community Energy Challenge. It's like the baseline first thing to start. So thanks so much, Bellingham Bay Builders. I love you guys.
Yeah, all the information is on the website, and so are the tours that look amazing. So if you want to see Jeff touring a really beautiful house in North Bellingham, it's a fun time. So check that out too.
Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Rose. We really appreciate the opportunity.
Lovely. Rose, I can stay in here for a bit if anyone else has any more questions, and then I can close it off as well.
Okay, thanks. I'll go to the next one. Bye.
Cool. Yeah, but if there is any more questions or anything else that I guess